How's it going, everybody? I'll tell you what, man, I'm having a hell of a time tonight. I finally got myself an AR-15. I have been contemplating this move for quite some time. I always looked at the price of them and I was like, man, I'll wait. I was always in the handgun craze and wanted all the handguns and all that kind of stuff, and with the state of the economy and everything going on in this country and in this world, I made a decision that I think it's time to get serious about, getting some type of good quality defense. Not so much home defense, but maybe neighborhood defense or something if, WROL or shit hits the fan or whatever. So I made a decision to sell 2 handguns. I put in the paper, came out today, my Glock 20 and my SIG 238. I chose those 2 because those are the 2 handguns that get shot the least. The 10mm ammo is very expensive. I had the Lone Wolf Distributors 40 Smith & Wesson conversion barrel for it, but I have the Glock 22 full-size 40, so the 10mm Glock 20 lost out. I didn't want to get rid of either one of these guns, but somewhere down the road, I probably will replace in one form or another. I don't know what, when. It doesn't really matter at this point. I have plenty of other handguns that get shot much more. The SIG 238, freaking love that little gun. Here again, didn't shoot it much, but it was a very expensive, very pricey 380. So those were the 2 that I chose to get rid of. I got 3 calls today on them, and this is the weird thing. Every call, they all inquired about trading, if I'd be interested in trading. So I asked them, well, what do you have, and they'd tell me, and I said, well, I'm looking for an AR. 2 of the 3 didn't have ARs. This guy here, he did. He said he had quite a few ARs, and he said that, asked me what I was kind of looking for, and I told him, I don't know, Bushmaster, maybe Rock River Arms, Colt. He said, well, I have a Colt. He goes, we talked a little bit, and anyway, he came over after he got off work, and he brought this Colt. He brought this, and he said that he had painted it camo, which, I mean, it looks cool, makes it unique, but I can tell, I haven't had this very long, and I can tell that, and let me say this right now, if anybody out there knows a good way to remove this paint off of here without destroying the finish underneath, I don't even know if that's possible. Please let me know. But he said that he bought this from a friend of his who bought it new. He goes, I don't believe that friend of mine ever fired it. He said, I know I haven't ever fired it. This guy has quite a few ARs. So we pulled the bolt out, and he showed me the bolt. And I'll tell you what, this bolt, if you look at it, does not look like it has been used, shot, fired, nothing. Sorry about the weird camera angle, guys. I'm not used to having to do this with a rifle. But you look at the finish on here. It looks brand new. You look down here, side of that. Here again, here we go with my angles. This down in here is very dry. And I don't see virtually any wear marks in there at all. right down there on the end of that pin, there's a little bit, but I think this is from the thing being put together and stuff. But the gun, for all intents and purposes, appears to be essentially just like brand new. So, you know, he came and he looked at what I had, and I looked at this, and I'm not a real experienced, by any stretch, AR-15 guy. And I asked him, I said, well, what are you thinking, you know, on a trade? And he said he'd be willing to go straight across. He'd trade both those handguns for this Colt AR-15. So, I did it. I was planning on, you know, getting the money and going and buying something. You know, I didn't figure I could afford a Colt. You know, the Colts for the most part are, you know, 1,100-1,200 bucks and up. But you know, this one's in great shape. You know, the paint is okay. But if I change out these rails and put on black rails, it's just, I don't know, it might look all right, but he didn't do a real good job. But this is the man, this is tough. Right there. Law Enforcement Carbine. Okay. I've been trying to look and see. I do not see an actual model number on this thing. I see that there's like a Colt law enforcement, you know, model 6920, 6950 and all that stuff. I can't find that number. So if anybody knows where on this I can look to try and find the actual model number of this other than just what it says on here, I would appreciate that as well. Got the typical 6-position stock. It's pretty much stock. I don't know if I said this already. It does have the flat top. This is removable. Take this off. It's got a Picatinny underneath. 1-in-7 twist, bayonet lug. You know, it's got the bayonet lug under it. See, he called it the medium weight barrel. It's not the heavy and it's not the light. It's like a medium weight barrel. But, I mean, if it wasn't for the paint being on this thing, man, I would be absolutely ecstatic. But the paint is cosmetic. The actual quality of the gun, I hope, I'm thinking, should be pretty high. So, you know, I'd like to know y'all's input. What do you think? A Glock 20 and a SIG 238 for this Colt law enforcement AR-15 M4. I was trying to ask him, I said, you know, do you know about when this thing was made? And he said, well, he said they didn't start coming out with the flat tops, what did he say, until, he thought about 10 years ago. I mean, you know, I don't know. Is that right? I don't know. It might be. I really don't know. I feel like a monkey screwing a football, though. I can tell you that. Putting this thing back together. It's been a while, man. It's been a while. But, everything appears to be pretty good on it. I think that I, you know, did a pretty good job, you know, getting a Colt. He said that he's going to start getting rid of all his ARs like this because he wants to go to the piston-operated ARs now instead of the DI models. But just let me know what you think on this. That SIG, I had 500 bucks into it. I bought it brand new, $500. It was just a low end, all black, 3-dot, non-night sights on it. It was a $500 gun, and I picked up that Glock 20 for 375 bucks, barely used. So, you know, 875 into the guns, and I threw in that conversion barrel. That's about 100 bucks. So, I figure I'm into this for about $975. Did some looking online. You know, it looks like they're anywhere from like $1,150 or $1,200 and up. But there you go. I got some learning to do, and I got some accessories to buy, and I really would like to get this this paint off of this, I think. So just let me know what you think. If you have any ideas about paint removal, I'd appreciate that. And one of these days I'll have to take this thing out and shoot it. Thanks for watching, you guys. I appreciate you. Have yourself a good evening. We'll talk to you later. See ya.